All right. San Antonio Spurs beat the Memphis Grizzlies 126 to 119. If y'all saw the game, it felt like we won by more points, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, Spurs are the best team in the entire NBA. We are going to win the NBA championship, and OKC doesn't have a fucking chance against us. Here's the lead tracker to get things started. It's kind of the ebbs and flows of the game. It's going to show who had the lead when they had the lead. If you look down here, that's the first quarter, second quarter to the third quarter, so on and so forth. Of course, the baby blue is Memphis, the black is the Spurs. So Memphis was up. They had a 5 point lead in the first quarter. Spurs kind of brought it back in there. Memphis goes up again. We get up going into the third quarter. Spurs dominate the third quarter pretty thoroughly, and we're in control. Memphis makes it interesting towards the end, and Spurs are able to squeeze it out there at the end of the game and get it together. It was a good back and forth game. There was 23 different lead changes. Memphis is missing Ja Morant. Spurs are missing Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Jordan McLaughlin was still out for whatever that's worth. I don't know if not having Ja Morant probably makes the Grizzlies better. Ja Morant is just a terrible locker room cancer, and I don't like Ja Morant. Just unnecessary strays towards Ja Morant. I don't care. I think Ja Morant's a child that's really good at basketball and thinks he's more important than he is. Anyway, I'm off of the Ja Morant hate train. Harrison Barnes scores 31 points. The first shot for Harrison Barnes, he thought he got fouled. If y'all remember in the first quarter, he goes up and just throws up. He just hucks up some shot because he thought he got fouled, and he just drains that shot. And then he was just immediately on fire. He never looked back. We'll get into the player stats in a minute, but I'm pretty sure Harrison had like 31 points. Harrison Barnes is our God and Savior out there. Memphis has the 119. We have 126. Again, we only won by 7 points, but it felt like we were in control for most of the game. I was a bit concerned we might lose in the fourth quarter, so I'm not going to say I was never worried about us winning this game, because I was worried at one point, but felt like we were doing all the right things, and it felt like we had the game under control. Again, we'll get into the player and team stats, but we were swarming three balls. We were actually knocking down three balls. We had 6 turnovers. That might be our best all season long. I want to say that's the least turnovers we've had all season. Memphis had a 15. I'm watching the game. I'm seeing we're knocking down three balls. We're actually playing defense on Memphis's three balls. We're not turning the ball over. And if we lose the game, all good. We did all the right things and we lost the game. When we're out there having a bunch of foolish, careless turnovers and just taking bad shots, which we don't so much, we run pretty good offense. My complaint is always that we're stagnant on offense, and we weren't stagnant on offense this game. We can be stagnant on defense at times and just not be focused, but we were swarming like crazy. We were swarming all over Memphis, and we did a great job. We lost the Timberwolves the game before this game, and I made a comment. Memphis's defense, or rather Minnesota's defense versus our defense, was just night and day. We were guarding three-pointers like ass. Minnesota was getting all these open threes off ball movement, and then we had bad movement. But when we were moving the ball against Minnesota, even those plays that we had good ball movement, they're just swarming and swarming and swarming, and we still can't get an open three. So I'm happy to see our team tonight be the team that's doing the swarming instead of being the team that's getting swarmed defensively by the other team. Both teams have 28 assists, so that's a wash. We have 7 steals. They have 4. Not a huge difference, but that's 3 more turnovers. 6 blocks to 7 blocks. That's surprising. We had more blocks than them because they do have Zach Edey's big old ass out there, and he's definitely a beast. Again, it's probably the thing I'm most proud of. We only have 6 turnovers. Memphis has 15 turnovers. Our defense was really good, really on point. We were very physical defensively and forced them into a lot of turnovers. There was a handful of unforced turnovers, just Memphis being Memphis and playing not a great brand of basketball, and they were missing Ja Morant. Again, I don't like Ja Morant, but if Ja Morant was out there, he at least would have been able to cut down on these turnovers and help them run a more high-quality offense. Memphis is 50% from the field. We're 45%, so they outshot us from the field. This is the main one, though. They're 34% from the three. We're 46% from three. It was like the opposite of this last game. Last game, we beat Minnesota in pretty much everything. You're just going down all the stats, and we had more rebounds and steals and less turnovers. And it looked like we should have won the game if you just look at the stats. Then you get to the 3 point percentage. We shot like 25% from three last game. We made like 8 threes. And, tonight the tables are turned. We're actually knocking down three balls. And even more proudly, I know we can knock down threes. When we're knocking down three balls, I'm proud of the guys as long as the open threes are coming off of ball movement. What really makes me happy is that our defense was swarming. We showed way more effort. We were actually guarding the three balls, and it shows off in their percentage. They only shot 34%. They're 83% from the line. We're 77%. Nothing crazy, but they did outshoot us at the line. 58 points in the paint. Memphis just fucking kills us down there. We only have 42. We're missing Wemby. Zach Edey is a 300-pound, 6'5" animal. People are having questions about whether Zach Edey could be effective in the lead when he was drafted, even his first year in the NBA, but he's finding a niche for himself. If you're 6'4", 300 pounds, there's got to be a team that can use you out there, and Zach Edey, he's not some big ass clumsy guy. If you actually watch him play, he's not a gazelle out there, but he can move his feet pretty well. He can play okay defense on the perimeter. He moves laterally well enough that he can guard kind of the left and the right side of the paint almost at the same time. He can move over on help defense and not be some slow ass guy there that's struggling to get to the points in the paint where he can contest the other team's shots. So that's one unfair thing towards Zach Edey. People act like he's some big ass slow slug out there, but he's very agile for his size. Another thing, people act like Zach Edey's just supposed to play like Shaq and just bat guys down and bully them. That's really not his game. He has a beautiful right-handed hook, left-handed hook. He can shoot floaters with either hand. Of course, he can get down low and just dunk on your ass if he needs to. But the bottom line is Zach Edey's a big motherfucker, and he's a skilled player as well. It's not just his size. Speaking of Zach Edey, 19 points and 15 rebounds. The one block, he's 8 for 12 from the field, so he was a beast out there. I like Jalen Wells a lot. He's 6 for 9 for the 20 points. He is minus 22. Plus minus can be misleading at times. It's kind of a weird stat. Zach Edey is plus 6. It was last game or the game before. Zach Edey had a plus 39 stat line. So Zach Edey obviously works in the NBA. When he's on the court, his teams usually look better unless they're taking crazy advantage of him on the offensive end. We did a good job of that as well. Whoever Zach Edey was guarding when he was on the court, we'd bring him out in some high screen action and make Zach Edey switch onto different players, make Zach Edey move his feet, and try to get him tired out there. He did play the 30 minutes, but down the stretch towards the end of the game, you could tell he was running out of gas a bit, and we're able to bring it home. Cam Spencer has a wet ass three ball. He's 3 for 4 from three. He has 21 points. I like Cam Spencer. Cedric Coward is their rookie. He was 4 from 13, 9 points, 0 for 5 from three. Not a great game for Cedric Coward, but Cedric Coward is a nice young player as well. Moving on to the Spurs, our boy Harrison Barnes was just fucking on fire. He's 10 for 20 from the field. He's 7 for 12 from three. Want to say this is his best shooting game of the season. I don't think he had an 8 3-pointer made game yet, but he has a 7 for 12 this game. He's not the one reason we won, but Harrison Barnes, he hit the first three for us. I think I mentioned it earlier. He catches the ball on the top of the key. It looked like he got fouled. I'm not sure if he did get fouled or not, but he thought he did. He goes up and just trunks up a three ball, just drills it from straight away, and kind of set the table for Harrison. He was just on fire all night long, knocking down all sorts of three balls. I love when Harrison gets in the paint. He has this weird little slow step, Euro step he likes to do. He'll do the slow step, Euro step, then pump fake like 2 times. Then he'll do a pirouette move and get an and one on you in the paint. Unk is the best nickname for Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes, he really is an unk out there on the court, and he just bullies little kids out there, and then he shakes their hand after their game. Great game, young man. Harrison Barnes is such a presidential player, and There's no team Harrison Barnes has ever played on where they don't love Harrison Barnes. The NBA loves Harrison Barnes, and we love him too. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, only 1 turnover. There's never been one time, the entire time the Spurs have had Harrison Barnes, where he makes a play and I say, oh, what the fuck, Harrison Barnes? Like, what were you thinking, dude? That was a stupid play. Harrison Barnes knows way more about basketball than we do, and it's obvious. I fucking love Harrison Barnes. Julian Champagnie. One more quick thing about Harrison Barnes. He was like 1 for 9 last game from three. Julian Champagnie. Champagnie's 1 for 6 this game. Champagnie was like 1 for 6 last game as well. We have such a plethora of shooters that we don't need Harrison to be on fire every game. We don't need Champagnie or Vassell to be on fire every single game, or Keldon Johnson. We just need like one of those guys, one or two of those guys to come along for the ride and give us maybe 35, 40 points between them. Even if we get like 35, 40 points between Harrison Barnes, Champagnie, and Keldon Johnson all together, the point is we don't need Harrison to be insanely on fire like he was this game. We don't need Devin Vassell to score 35 points for us every single game like he did 2 games ago. We have just such a deep bench. We have so many deep players. People that weren't Spurs fans before the season started, they were saying Spurs have De'Aaron Fox. They have Wembanyama, of course. We draft Dylan Harper. But people were just saying De'Aaron Fox, Wembanyama, how great is their two-man game going to be? Can De'Aaron Fox fit in with the Spurs? How big is Victor Wembanyama's leap going to be? Wemby's leap has been great. De'Aaron Fox has looked great. But it's more our depth. Just our depth of our entire bench unit is really what people are sleeping on, and people are really seeing our depth as a team. We've looked amazing out there. De'Aaron gives us the 29 points. He's 8 for 19, shoots 50% from three again. He has double-digit free throw attempts. I'd love to see De'Aaron getting to the line because, truthfully, he could be shooting 10 or more free throws pretty much every single game if he just put his head down and was really focused on getting to the line. Dylan Harper, I love Dylan Harper so much. He might be my favorite player on the team, other than Wembanyama, of course, but Dylan Harper has 15 points, 6 assists, no turnovers. Dylan Harper, he's a starting NBA point guard right now, and he comes off the bench for us. We just have so much depth and talent at the guard spot that Harper's coming off the bench right now. Harper's 19 years old. In 3 years, he's going to be turning 22, obviously, and by the time Harper's 22, 23 years old, we have De'Aaron Fox on the 4-year contract. Maybe we extend De'Aaron Fox when he's 32. Maybe we keep him. I don't know, but the point is, by the time De'Aaron Fox is 32, Dylan Harper is just going to be just an all-star level point guard. Maybe even sooner. Dylan Harper is so spectacular out there. If you only look at Dylan Harper's numbers, you probably think, fuck, this Dylan Harper guy is good at basketball. He has some amazing numbers. I'm watching the game and one for De'Aaron Fox. He has some amazing numbers just looking at it, but if you watch Dylan Harper from the eye test, he is just off the charts on his eye test. He gets into the paint whenever he wants. He has a decent little mid-range jumper. He doesn't have a great three ball, but he just gets into the paint whenever he wants, and his finishing package in the paint is insane. He reminds me of James Harden, Cade Cunningham, a little bit of SGA as well. He gets in the paint. He just slithers into the paint. Just decel step, Euro step, floater. He had a sweeping left-handed hook over Rudy Gobert just the other game. I mean, he's just insane. Dylan Harper looks so great. Jeremy Sohan's back out there. He gets 11 points and 6 rebounds with the 2 steals. He actually gets to play 18 minutes. I think that Sohan should play at least 15 to 20 minutes pretty much every single game. He brings so much for us defensively. He's instant chemistry with Wemby and the rest of the boys on offense. And man, I'm just so proud of the boys, honestly. We're still missing Stephon Castle, Wembanyama. We're still missing Jordan McLaughlin. For whatever that's worth, now I feel like David Jones-Garcia is probably a better option to play than Jordan McLaughlin. And once we have Harper, Castle, and Fox all in there together, Jordan McLaughlin, he may be, I don't want to use the word forced, but he may be out-talented out of the rotation, if that makes sense. We have so many badass guards Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 7 million subscribers. Let me know what you thought about the Spurs. Amazing performance, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.